Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with me, 9:48. Let's finish with a bit of this.
Ask me. Here's Ally McCoist. Oh, he's done it. Ally McCoist for Great Jones.
Are you winding me up?
No, I'm deadly serious.
You know where the creator of the Rubik's Cube came from? Came from Czechoslovakia. So there you are, have some of that.
You need to introduce me to this Tinder. Is it dangerous?
You're a pair of numpties, so you are.
Let's be having ya! Let's be having you!
Oh, gee, was I?
You were only supposed to blow up a bloody door.
What's that?
Yeah, I've nailed it, man. I've nailed it.
Yeah, that time of the morning when we turn our attentions to Ally Other Business. I just want to start on Ivan Toney, who's been talking today. He says his dream is to play at the World Cup for England, and this World Cup could be his last chance. He scored 30 goals in all competitions in Saudi last season for Al Ahly. He says, all I can do is to keep scoring goals. Would that be enough to get him an England place?
Sadly, I don't think so. We can argue about the merits of it. We can discuss whether it's right or wrong. But I don't think, and no matter how many goals he scores, I don't think he'll come into his plans, Jeff. It's just it's kind of a little bit out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
As I say, we can argue about the rights and wrongs of it, but I just think that's the case. That is my opinion. I think there are 3 or 4 players above him, in the pecking order. You know, whether it's Welbeck, who I was staggered we didn't see at the weekend, Tammy Abraham, Ollie Watkins, all these guys, I think, are ahead of him.
Yeah. I think that's something that you have to be aware of when you choose to play football in somewhere like Saudi.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, the only person that can answer that question is Thomas Tuchel.
Of course.
And he would give it the party line. I don't think there's any doubt he'd give it the party line. Oh, I'm not ruling him out, blah, blah, blah. However, I think he has it. I think he is.
I think he's only had one sort of bit part appearance so far under Thomas Tuchel. So I think that makes the manager's stance pretty clear.
Yep.
So moving on, Chelsea beat Hull 4-0 away on Friday night, thanks in large part to a Pedro Neto hat-trick. Brilliant result for them. But Chelsea players getting a bit of stick online through apparently snubbing Hull City mascots on arrival. Now, you'll be able to see this if you're watching on YouTube or your smart TV. You can see the mascots in the background there, all standing to attention. And the Chelsea players do not bat an eyelid. Walk straight past. It's not a good look, is it?
No, it's
not. Do they need reminding?
Never mind not a good look,
that they have some responsibility?
Yes. Never mind not a good look. It's not good. Never mind not a good look. One of the best I've seen at it is Jack Grealish, right? Jack Grealish, to me, plays the game with a smile on his face. He looks as though he's very, very thankful of the opportunity that has been given to him to play football. And I just think he's brilliant. And I don't know, I'm not watching him all the time, but any time I see him arriving at grounds, he's always got a word for whoever that is, you know, the guy at the front door, the kids waiting to see them. And it costs nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it costs absolutely nothing. And it's amazing. You maybe underestimate how much it means to people, those kids, you know, for sitting there. Imagine the kid in the playground, you know, so-and-so come up and said hello to me, he patted me on the head. I'm loath to use the word wee things like that, because those wee things are actually big things in the grand scheme of things, Jeff, and that is not a good look at all. I mean, what does it take to come out your way and walk and give the kids a wee high five on the way through, or how are you getting on, you're looking forward to it, blah blah blah, who's your favourite? I don't know, anything. It's not a good look, mate.
I remember seeing a video a couple of weeks ago now, and I'm pretty sure it was St James's Park, and there was a little girl who'd been part of the mascots for one of the games, and she was left standing on her own in the centre circle, and honestly it was heartbreaking stuff to be honest. I'm sure it wasn't the player's intention. No. Of course it wasn't the player's intention.
And you know, I get it, the players are focused on the game, they've got a job to do, we understand that, we'll get it, but as you correctly said, it does not look good. It's not a good image. And by the way, Chelsea have been probably a little bit unfortunate because it's just them that we're talking about this weekend and the Friday night. As you say, there'll no doubt there'll be other instances. At the same time, there will be thousands of examples of players and management going up to kids and going up to mascots and all that stuff, doing the right thing. So it's not a good look, and it's a bit unfortunate it happened.
And you know what? People sitting at home, they watch things like that. They watch when the teams are coming out. Of course they do. Which players look after the mascot who's with them, which players put their arm around them, which players might have just a little word with them 100%. When they're on the way out, and which blank them completely.
Because I remember we all like to see the human touch, don't we?
Of course. My kids, when they were very young, were mascots at Southampton, and Klaus Lundekvam was the captain then, and he looked after them so well.
Jeff,
and you appreciate that so much.
Jeff, I remember as a kid, the late Bobby McKean, who played with Rangers, tragically taken too early. I remember coming up to a training session, patting a few heads. I was maybe 7 or 8 years of age. I remember waiting outside at St Mirren Park. Liverpool were up. And I remember Jimmy Case coming out and taking the time to come and sign my autograph book.
Yeah.
You don't forget things like that.
No, you don't. And you don't forget the ones who don't sign your autograph book.
Yeah.
On to League One now. Plymouth Argyle rocked to a 4-0 win away at Blackpool. Their first goal came from close range, and I mean close range, from Alex Mitchell. It's fair to say that after the game, Mitchell had a bit of fun, bigging up his goal to in-house Pilgrims Media.
Yes, it's obviously very positive, all-round performance. I've obviously scored an absolute banger, to be fair. It's stanch, 30 yards, brilliant strike off the volley. So, yeah, I can't do much more, to be fair.
We probably won't have had a stoppage time like that all season. We could have gone in 1-0 at half-time. We actually went in 3. It was really important when we scored those 2 goals. Did it change the dynamic at half-time, knowing we were that far in front?
Yeah, it's nice to go 3 goals ahead rather than 1. Obviously, the last couple of weeks when we go 1-0 up, we get a bit shaky, and I think we've eradicated that today. Yeah, obviously my strike helps us again. The calibre of the goal, the finish, obviously it's a frightening goal, so obviously probably putting fear into the team, so I've probably just got to do it on Tuesday.
Brilliant. He delivers it with such a straight face.
So he does. Jeff, that's the beauty of it. Do you know what I mean? If you hadn't seen the game, or indeed had seen the goal, you'd have been thinking to yourself, well, he's got a big hit for himself. However, I'm going to watch this goal because it must be...
you'd be trying to find it.
It must be some goal.
Yeah.
Well, I can assure you, it won't be featured in the goal of the season competition at the end of the season, but it counted.
Yeah. Isn't it brilliant to see somebody who doesn't take themselves too seriously, who has a sense of humour, you know, and that comes over fantastically.
It's a complete flip side of what we were talking about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You're talking about somebody that's endearing themselves to the general public watching that, clearly not taking themselves too seriously, having a laugh, and it's magic. And you and I are smiling about it, and we'll have a good giggle about it, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Couple of texts to finish with about mascots, basically. Jay says, boys, Bruno Guimaraes is a shining example of how to act around mascots. And he sort of points the finger a bit at Kieran Trippier for the little girl who I mentioned. And I really don't know if that was the case or not, so I wouldn't want to pile on there. But great to mention Bruno Guimaraes. And Harvey, the Fulham fan, will finish with this one, Coisty. Hi, boys. My youngest boy was a mascot maybe 5 times during his childhood, and your very own Danny Murphy was absolutely brilliant with him. So much so, at the end of a game up at Anfield, I believe it was Danny's last ever appearance in a competitive match. After the game, he came over to the Fulham fans, had a word with the chief steward that were looking after us there, pointed at my son and gave him his shirt. He is a real gentleman, and he always knew how to look after the mascots.
No surprise there.
No
Danny.
surprise, but
no
great
surprise
to hear as well. Coisty, have a great night tonight.
I will do, mate. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Make sure you pull out a plum draw for Nigel Clough and Mansfield, okay?
Certainly do my best.
Yeah. And I'd love to know how Martin Keown was with Mascots. Maybe we'll find out in a couple of minutes' time, because he's along very shortly indeed with Jim and Simon. We'll see you tomorrow at 6.